much, Joanne, and I'd like to start off by thanking everybody for supporting Malaysia Business Events Week and to be here face to face. But I'd also like to welcome our virtual audience and to thank them for being with us today and for supporting Malaysia Business Events Week. So we've got a very exciting lineup of guests, and I'm going to kick off and get the ball rolling with Datuk Rajagobal, who is the ex-coach national football team of Malaysia. So Datuk, I'd like to ask you, first and foremost, how did you motivate Malaysia's national team to win its first gold medal in 20 years at the 2009 Southeast Asia Games?
Oh, it was very easy because we all are Malaysians. Okay, yes, I told the players regularly, it's been quite some time we won the SEA Games. It's been 20 odd years we won the SEA Games. So these were a young bunch of players. I saw them having the passion, the energy, the commitment, and they wanted to achieve something. So that was the right opportunity for me when I was the youth coach. I could see in their face the hunger. At the same time, I also was very determined. I had the grit. I had the courage to allow these players to perform. And I gave all the opportunity, even though in the SEA Games we were in a very tough group. We were with Thailand, we were with Vietnam, we were with Laos and Timor-Leste. It was a group of death. But deep inside, you know, every time I had classes with them, every night I had classes with them. I motivate them, I show videos, I show them, and I talk about all these great legends who have achieved, success. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, it can be Tiger Woods, it can be F1 Formula, Michael Schumacher. So this to drive them, you know, and just keep on saying to them, now we have a task to do. We have to do it in a very proper way. We need to do in a very disciplined way. So this was a drive which I always speak to them, show them as a teacher, in the ground, off the ground. The most important is you've got to be very disciplined. I was very firm to these players because they were young, maybe we could control them. And that's how, you know, every game by game we took it. And it was a fairy tale. No one gave a chance for Malaysia to win the SEA Games in 2009. And everyone was saying, oh, this is the same old story. Malaysia is not going to win. Malaysia is this, Malaysia is that. But deep inside, you know, every night when I sleep, I visualize. When I bathe, I think about it. It always was in my mind. It was always there. So this was the drive and the energy which I had to show the players. When a coach has that energy at that age, why not the players? So this is where you spread the energy. The energy can be a strategy. And eventually the players showed the unity. We worked as a family. We wanted the same goal, same achievement, and the support from the Malaysians. That is how I motivate them, and we were successful.
So as a young man, you must have been a great lover of football, and you obviously translated all your passion and energy and commitment to the players. So as a young man, what influenced you and what drove your passion for success? Who were your influences?
Yes, at the time, you know, when I was born in Tapak Panas, a village. It was famous. They call it Hot Spring. Those times we had a lot of sportsmen in Tapak Panas, and you know, football it just became to be my passion, my love. And we used to watch. It was very difficult for us to watch TV at that time. It was all black and white TV, and we cannot afford for a TV. So I used to run to the coffee shop and watch this EPL, this English Premier League, so World Cup, and it became, you know, my passion and my dream I want to be a player. I want to, achieve a very high level, maybe to participate for my state, and then eventually the country. And every day I'll be in the field. So the passion, automatically, it came into me, and I had that drive, had the dream, and that is what kept me driving. And I said, no, I want to achieve this. Anything is possible if we put our mind, our soul, our heart, our determination. That is what, when I saw others, Datuk Santokh Singh also was when Setapak Air Panas, when he can play for the state, why not me? Even though you look at my physical, I am till today the same, I'm 24 years old now. And still I have the same passion and the same drive. So that kept me, really motivated, and the passion. And from there onwards, I took it off. And it all is a fairy tale, and I became a player, a coach, eventually.
So as such a young man with the golden touch, we have lots of young professionals in our audience today who are passionate about the business events industry. Is there an inspirational message you would like to leave for them before I move on to our next speaker? Datuk?
See?
Would you like to leave an inspirational message to our young audience? Many of them are seeking and growing their professions in the business events industry.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of people here, different professions. You definitely have dreams. You definitely have goals. For me, it's a very simple advice. If you have the dream, definitely the passion will come into it. You love what you're doing. You must love what you're doing. And then it will materialize into action. When it materializes into action, you put your soul, you put your heart, you put your commitment. The energy automatically will come. You must love what you are doing. You must enjoy what you are doing. Effortless. That time you will never think of time. That is how I was always having this dream. I want to be the best. I want to be the #1 coach. And I had the opportunity to meet Alex Ferguson. I was the opportunity to meet Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, Martino of Barcelona manager. You must not feel different. They sat down in the press conference. I am a Malaysian. Sir Alex Ferguson is well known globally. And if he can ask a question, the press can ask a question, he can answer the same thing I can. We are Malaysian. What material he has, what material I have. But if you have the knowledge, you learn more, you can achieve whatever you want. So that is my advice. Put all the effort, energy, and one thing, integrity. Honesty is contagious. Must have that principle. And you also must also be pious. Believe in God. You will achieve anything you want. And help each other. Collectively, if we have that energy, nobody is going to break you. You will be very successful in any of the career you are taking. Thank you.
An inspiration, an icon, and a mentor to so many Malaysian people and people all over the world. So thank you so much for your words of wisdom. I'd like to move on now and introduce Professor Fu. Professor Fu was an outstanding scholar. He's an innovator, a top researcher, and a scientist. So we'd like to know about how he developed a passion for chemical engineering, and how does he motivate people to care and protect the sustainability of our environment. Over to you, Professor Fu.
Thank you, Angeline. I've prepared some slides. Maybe perhaps I can show you the slides. Okay, it's coming out on the screen. Thank you, Maisat, for inviting me to share a bit of what we do in academic in the university. Most people know that we do teaching. Yes, we teach. That's the main income for the university. Okay. Apart from teaching, we also do a lot of research work. And you can see that I put up a list of my half-time commitment. Those are my part-time job. Okay, this is a partial list. I'm an editor, I'm authors, I am president of association, I'm a committee, I run various things. To begin with, as I mentioned, I teach. Okay, most of the time I'm based in Malaysia. My campus is in Semenge. If you do not know where Semenge is, it's 20 minutes from Kajang Satay. Okay, everybody should know where Kajang Satay is, or Google search it. I occasionally fly to UK to do some teaching, and to China to do some teaching as well, because these are our university campuses. Apart from that, I mentioned I do research. That's where the title of professors come in, because only when we do research we get to the level where we call professors. Back then, I developed lots of waste minimization methods. Okay, by doing some graphical methods, I identify how much water can be recycled from wastewater streams to the units that require water. All right, and with some research work running, I publish papers and I publish books. Lots of my collaborators, you can see that they are all international people. I have about 50 collaborators from Asia to US to Canada to Africa, Asian countries. So all these people, we work together as a big research team throughout the whole globe. Okay, I send my students for attachment. Sometimes I receive students from overseas for attachment in my place. We work out something together. That's my first textbook. You will hardly see me in Malaysia media because my book launch is, the picture on the top was in Prague, Czech Republic. The picture at the bottom is in China. They translated my book into Mandarin, Chinese. The only thing I know there is my name. Yeah, that's my second textbook. This was launched in Philippines, Manila. So with textbooks, this grows throughout the whole world, where people are using my approach, my techniques for their waste reduction, for their classes in chemical engineering. Apart from that, I mentioned those are my, I should say those are my full-time work when I do research and my teaching. My part-time work are this, okay? My wife always say that I'm a very busybody person. Yeah, I go to school to give talks, okay, to motivate students to take up science subjects, to tell them what is about climate change. I do a lot of webinars. This was something that I hosted a few weeks ago, some webinars that to show publics how can we conserve energy. I do a lot of public talk. Anybody invite me, I will go, okay, including myself inviting me to there, I'll come. This was a talk last year in Pusat Science Negara about this time. This was hosted by Academy of Science, talk about CO2 reduction. How can we do something to save the Mother Earth? Because the global Earth is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Okay, of course you can get some of these talks from the media, social media, from YouTube. The poster on the right-hand side was supposed to be held just before the lockdown, and they called us up saying that, oh sorry, this talk has to be cancelled. Yeah, we'll schedule it next month. It's postponed until September. All right. Anyway, these talks, when I talk about CO2 reduction and climate change, it should appear on MRT or LRT sooner or later. And the other benefit of being an academic, you travel the whole world with someone else's money. Of course, you have to be somebody before you get invited. Okay, those listed there, the red color are overseas trips, the blue one are Malaysia trips. Okay, usually I tell students, if you want to find me, the easiest way to get me is KLIA. Okay, go to airport, because every 3 weeks I'll be on the flight. Okay, I do works, and then you realize, how can this guy is supposed to teach in the university, travel the whole world every 3 weeks? Well, I work everywhere. Okay, as long as I have a laptop. I work in this Sorbonne garden in Vienna for 3 hours, editing some papers. Was in Regent Park in London. People having dating there. I date with my computer and some ducks. Okay, I edited some papers and books there. Myself says, can you fly to Melbourne to share something about tourism? I say, well, I am an academic. If you don't feel boring hearing some academic talking about tourism, yeah, I'm fine to do so. So when I have to travel, sometimes it's very, very packed. See, Melbourne, I went out for 2 days, came back the following week, I went out to Japan, because our organization, this Asia Pacific Confederation of Chemical Engineering, we have the biannual conference, which I have to be there to chair the session. That was a week after. Okay, sometimes, for instance, this Europe trip last year, October, I spent half a day in Manchester. I flew to Manchester to do a PhD examination for them. The following day, I went to Nottingham with a train, give a seminar and had some meetings. And the following days, I flew out to Greece to attend a conference. And I fly back here within 6 days. Can you imagine that kind of trip? All right? People ask me, don't you stay longer? Oh, sorry, I have 2 kids at home, and my wife keep nagging because I go to airport every 3 weeks. The following month, I brought the family to Korea, and then I did a workshop there. While my family went for shopping. All the money that earned from the workshop went for the shopping mall.
Prof,
right. Of course, with all this dedication of work, some of this recognition will come sooner or later. Okay, Angeline mentioned some of that. You don't have to repeat. My key advice is, if you do something that you like, if you do something you are passionate on, all these are extra bonus, and it will come to me, it will come to you as well. Okay, I'm aware of time. Let me just stop here. If you happen to think about sending your kids to university, whatever university you want to join, if you need some consultation, yeah, drop me an email. I'm willing to take all this, my wife say, busybody work, okay?
Thank you, Professor Hu. That's very, very exciting. And here you are. You have a mentor and an opportunity to learn all about chemical engineering and beyond. But your passion is evident. And we think you also love traveling too, correct?
Yeah, I'm a tourist.
Okay, we've got a few minutes left, and I must hand over to Mr. Ho, Chairman of the Waste Management Association of Malaysia. I'm sorry, we're very short on time. But we would like the audience to understand a little bit about your association and why it's important. And then we want you to pitch to get a young professional to join your association.
Okay, thank you, Angeline.
Pleasure.
Although I prepared something else about passion, but I think, yeah, time is of the essence here. WMEM, or Waste Management Association of Malaysia, was established to provide a platform for networking for all those who are interested to learn about waste management policies, regulations, planning, practices through seminars, conferences, and share their experience, as well as exhibit and promote new products and technologies. And to have a better understanding of the importance of waste management and how it impacts the environment in terms of health, hygiene, sanitation, and sustainability of the economy. Malaysia needs to learn from the mistakes made by others in the past and develop a waste management master plan that is sustainable. Over the years, we have seen the growth of a new industry where modern waste collection equipments and mechanical lifters and standard wheelie bins were being introduced and being produced locally. And landfill gas management, our experts here knows very much about that. Methane gas is actually produced from landfill when it degrades. And we harness that to produce green energy. Some of the landfills I manage, we're producing about 2 megawatts of electricity just from waste alone. And that's going to feed about 20,000 houses, you know. And the next step is to construct waste-to-energy facilities and material recovery facilities. Now, waste is a resource, and we can't just throw it into the landfill. We need to recover it. We need to bring it back to the cycle, and hence the term circular economy. You know, some use it cradle to cradle, but today it's called circular economy. And these are just some of the exciting development in the field of waste management, which WMEM hopes to promote in the near future. On pitching to the young professionals to join WMEM, well, the past and the current generation not only contributed to the development of the economy and innovation of technology, but has also contributed to the environment degradation of the planet. And waste management has generally been taken for granted and ranks among the lowest by any government when it comes to allocation of budget. Now, this is understandable, as different countries have different priorities depending on the stages of development of their economies. Health and education, basic infrastructures such as roads and transportation, utilities, water, electricity, these are fundamental basic priorities. Waste management, when left unattended, can create a critical problem associated with public health issues if poorly managed. Dump sites, groundwater contamination from leachate. Leachate is as wastewater has leached through the waste. Release of greenhouse gases and landfill fires. Greenhouse gas causes global warming. Methane is 21 times more harmful than carbon dioxide. And outbreak of diseases related to vectors such as flies and rodents. Now, the Western Europeans have been the most active in terms of recognizing the importance of waste management, whereas the rest of the world is still playing catch-up. The environmental education and awareness is gradually picking up, and we need the younger generation to continue this momentum and take it to the next level to champion better waste management in Malaysia and the ASEAN region. Please check out our website at www.wmem.org and contact us for more information. That's the time I have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ho. I'm afraid we've run out of time. We did have one question, which we will address offline. And I'd like to thank our virtual audience again for joining us. Fantastic icons in front of you. I hope that you're going to grab our, I would say, mentors and icons who have so much knowledge and expertise they can share. We so much appreciate your time today. Thank you for being part of Malaysia Business Events Week, and we look forward to meeting you again on various platforms. And thank you for inspiring our audience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.